All right. Now, you remember in Matthew's chapter 27, verse 46, when Mashiach said, what they say, let them read it.
Strong's G 2241, Eli, Eli. Strong's G 2982, Lema, Lema. Strong's G 4518, Sabachthani, Sabachthani.
All right. So what did he say? What did he say? Let's go to the Old Testament. All right. What was Hamashiach saying? Why was he saying it? So let's go to Psalms chapter 22. Go all the way up to the top. And verse 1. To the chief musician upon Ahajeleth Shahar, a psalm of Dawad. They say David. Dawad. Alayah. Alayah. Lama. Sabachthani. Let's see. Okay. So let's go here. It's David. They say Dawad. What letters did he use? Okay. See at the bottom where it say root word, etymology, shortened from. So this one is shortened from this one. In Phoenician Hebrew, this ah makes the ah. That one makes the la. As you saw in my previous video of what I posted up of the Phoenician Hebrew. Okay. This letters right here, those are Yiddish letters, but those Yiddish letters are used to pronounce Hebrew words. It's a difference between what they call Israeli Hebrew. Then so this is not Yiddish. This is not a Yiddish language. They're just using Yiddish letters to pronounce Hebrew words, right? So in English, they're using English letters to pronounce this language up here, right? Different letters in different placements. You see that? Now look. Shortened from Alaya. Ayala. Ayala. All right? Let's see right here. Strong's H410. Number 2. Allah. Noun masculine. Also in proper name. Allah. Alaya. Alaya. Samaritan. Allah. You see these letters right here? Hebrew detected. See, they say Hebrew detected. Notice they never say Yiddish. Okay, now watch this now. Same letters. Look. Same letters. Same letters. But a different language. You see how we, okay, look, in English, we may say no, right? In Spanish, they say no. It means the same thing, right? Swahili, they say caca. In in Spanish, caca don't mean what it mean in Swahili. Okay? Brother. See that? Brother. 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 The biblical scholars use the term Hebrews to designate the descendants of the patriarchs of the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, Abraham, Yadshach, Wa, Yaquaba, also called Yashara'Allah, from the third period until their conquest of Canaan, Palestine, in the late 26th millennium BCE. Why do I say that right there? BCE, before Messiah, and I started speaking like that right there. Phoenician is a Canaanite language, they say, closely related to Abar, closely related to Hebrew. Very little is known about the Canaanite language except what can be gathered from El Amarna, letters written by Canaanite kings to pharaohs, Imma Papis, 1402, 1364 BCE in Akhenaten. So I don't understand. If you see the confusion in this, it's Phoenician in an older form of Hebrew. As such, Phoenician is attested slightly earlier than Hebrew, whose first inscriptions date to the 10th century BCE. Hebrew eventually achieved a long and extensive literal tradition. The biblical books especially, while Phoenician is known only by inscriptions. Now, who named it Phoenician? The Paleo-Hebrew script, and then they put that right there. Also, Paleo-Hebrew, Proto-Hebrew, or Old Hebrew is the writing system found in Canaanite inscriptions from the region of biblical Yashar-Allah. From the region of biblical Yashar-Allah and Yahabada in Judah, they say. It is considered to be the script used to record the original text of the Hebrew Bible. So may I ask a question? How can this be a Canaanite language when the Hebrews used these scripts in order to write the Bible? When they use these, now look, on the Tower of Babel, you listening? On the Tower of Babel, when the languages was confused, every nation spoke their own language.
Chapter 3. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof, namely 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites and the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses.
We was not running around naked cross, what they say, Ophir. We weren't running naked across Africa. We had our own language and dialect. Everybody had their own. You can learn other people's language. So Canaan, he was a servant of Yasharallah. Just like we is slaves of America and slaves of the Caribbeans or wherever we at, and we speak the languages of our slave masters and of their children, of their descendants. It is considered to be the script used to record the original text of the Abar of the Hebrew Bible. Due to its similarity, similarity to the Samaritan script, as the Talmud stated that the Hebrew ancient script was still used by the Samaritans. The Talmud described it as the Lebanon script. Translated by some of Lebanon script. Use of the term Paleo Hebrew. Now, a sister showed a map. I believe it was the day before yesterday, but it was yesterday that I watched the video. Lebanon is in Yashar Allah. Lebanon is in Yashar Allah. So look right here. Paleo Hebrew alphabet is due to a 1954 suggestion. It was a suggestion by Solomon Birnbaum, I guess is his name. I'm not trying to mess it up. Who argued that apply to the term Phoenician to the script of the Hebrews is hardly suitable. So he said it is hardly suitable. This is him right here. You see him? Okay, he didn't agree with it. Now look, Solomon Asher Berna Baum, I don't know. Also, Salomo Berna, I don't know, was a Yiddish linguist and Hebrew paleographer. You see that? So I'm seeing a problem. He saw a problem. I'm not as I don't speak Yiddish. I speak English. If his head can learn, I can learn. But what I'm saying is that I see a problem. Check this out. You see where it says so-so? Kaka. See? Kaka, 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 kaka. So-so. So when you say in Spanish, I see. Kaka, kaka. It's not the same languages, family. So we have to understand that we're using letters from other people's languages in order to try to get to the correct understanding of this language. So I'm going to go here to learning words and phrases. Word examples. What do this say? Remember, we read from right to left. What do this say? A, la, and you see them together? When you see them together on this app here, it does not pronounce the last word. So it's not Allah, it's Allah. You see that? And right here, it says Ya, Ha, because there's no line under this letter after this one. Ya, Ha, Wa. You see it's here? Ya, Ha, Wa. But we don't pronounce that last Ha, but it's there to show you that that letter is there. So it's Yahweh. This language right here, which is the oldest language on earth, because if the Hebrew Bible was written in this language, right? And if Abraham still spoke the language of Adam, right? If Abraham still spoke the language of Adam, and the other languages of the earth were divided, even at a time, Yashmael spoke what his daddy spoke because that's his daddy, right? But during our time and during out a lot of these religious wars and all these things, a lot of words and phrases and languages, the sounds of it changes, right? And with us, our mind has been completely wiped away from even knowing who we were as a people. According to Jeremiah chapter 17, you can read that. I just gave you the book to read. Jeremiah chapter 17 and Dabarayam chapter 28. You'll see why you discontinue from your heritage.